like this.
What's up, guys? Oh, just welcome to the channel?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Some people never been here.
Oh, okay. Welcome to our channel.
Yeah.
I told you. Welcome to our channel.
I'm Mel.
And Mo.
And this is baby Cairo. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. So what's going on today, babe?
So today we are going to talk about our marriage.
We're talking about our marriage.
Yeah. We get a lot of questions about our relationship, so let's just talk about it.
Pretty much. So we definitely get a lot of questions about our marriage. So we pretty much just wanted to come do a sit down, talk about it, talk about what got us to this point, what we see for the future, and just be pretty transparent and real and raw as we always are with you guys. So let's get into it. Coming into our marriage, even from when we were first dating, like, yes, obviously when we made that choice to say we're gonna get married, we weren't perfect by any means, but we knew we loved each other. We knew we had a lot going for ourselves, and we were better together than apart. So I know one of the things, flaws, I would actually say flaws, that I came into the marriage with was I always had, I feel like, a trait where I would want to probably have like the last word. Because
oh man, yeah.
Like, we could be discussing something, or say we disagree on something, I would always, like, he would say his piece and I would always say, I understand that, but just to get my point out, to make me feel like I was on top of the situation. Would you agree?
Yeah, I feel like, you know why? I think you knew that bothered me.
I don't think I know that it bothered you, but I don't think I did it because it bothered you.
Really?
No, I don't think I did it because it bothered you.
Because when you know how in a relationship it's kind of like when you have an argument, as long as that other person is a little more angrier, I win a little bit, right?
No,
kind of.
I just always want to win at a situation, like, at work, at life, at anything. And I think I brought that competitive attitude into our marriage. And even when it came to like an argument, it's just be like, no, because if you get my point, and I just talk until I felt like he was over it, and now I feel like I won the situation. What do you think one of your flaws were?
Flaws for me that I'm very passive aggressive. Would you say?
I would definitely say that.
Yeah, so I'm very passive aggressive. So when I see a problem, I kind of just let it go by, right? Just like, because it's usually something small, but because it was a small thing, I would always just like, but then you're not allowing, you know, that communication
to be open.
Yeah, and you're just living your life, right?
Right.
And I'm over here grudging, like, yo, why did she, you know, not turn that off again, or not put this back where it needs to again? And it just feels like you're tallying up a score of like who did this, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's so horrible. Like, that's horrible.
That's an honest statement, because so much times people expect people to understand what's going on and what they're going through without saying anything. So we're just gonna be completely honest. We're gonna be completely transparent. We went to counseling, not like premarital counseling type of thing. We actually went to counseling for preventative measures. We were trying to be proactive rather than a reactive situation, because around the time that we went to counseling, we were in a great space. Like, we weren't like arguing or beefing or doing anything. It was more just like, let's maintain this foundation that we have.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. I think we were very fortunate to realize it is easier to maintain a relationship when it's good than, you know, when it's, you know, you're grabbing on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, trying to build off something broken, yes, it's definitely doable, but our goal was to, okay, how do we maintain this foundation and build up from it, not try to pick up pieces and put it back together type of deal.
So, but to continue off where we left off, Dr. Kanisha was a really big help for our relationship at the beginning of our marriage, you know, to build that base for our marriage.
So Dr. Kanisha Mouton is a Christian counselor, marriage counselor, relationship counselor, different things. I actually was going through counseling with her when I was in the process of writing my book, and she actually helped me go through that process to be able to be comfortable with putting out everything that I was putting out in the book. If you haven't got my book yet, it's called Perception Wasn't Reality, Trapped by Choices, Freed by Purpose. And it is on www.purposelyliving.net. But again, she was our marriage counselor, and she played a very pinnacle role to helping us maintain the foundation that we had, as well as building upon that foundation
at the beginning of our marriage.
Yes. Many men find marriage counseling to be like taboo. It's like, I'm not doing that. Why do I want to go tell somebody my business and da-da-da-da?
And pay. You know what I mean? It's usually like, oh man, like it's usually like, oh babe, that's another bill, which is true. Yeah. But I think it's really a vital investment for your relationship. You know what I mean? Not just marriage, but relationship. Work around it so you can actually, you know, pay for that counseling for your marriage, because a lot of people put that in the back and feel like you can just physically like tough it out.
What would you say, what was like your experience with going through marriage counseling as a man that kind of went through it? Because when I first told him, like, I think we should go through counseling, he looked at me and he was like,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was like me too. I was like, counseling, therapy, all that stuff was far from me. You know what I mean? I never really knew anybody around me also that, you know,
utilized it.
Yeah, utilized it. After that, I look back, I'm like, dang, I wish I had counseling so I can better know myself. And when you know yourself, you put yourself in a situation where it's more of an advantage for you, and that's how you just continuously just have success in the route you take.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. No, but to go back on the question, how I feel after.
No, before, going into it.
Oh,
like,
before?
What was your take on it before, and then how do you feel about it after? Coming from a man's perspective, because, you know, a lot of men think that it's kind of like, blah, I don't need to do that.
Yeah, so I was on the same mindset where I didn't have any knowledge of what therapy, what counseling is. I always thought it's kind of like, yo, if you need somebody else to talk to you in a room, it's kind of like, you're weird maybe. But it's not. It actually helps you develop yourself in knowing your personality. And that's why I feel like now I really talk to myself a lot. Like I'm like, why'd you feel that way? I'm like, okay, let's backtrack again. Yeah. It was literally because of this one thing. She was late, and that lateness, you know, just piled up to everything else.
That's probably a real scenario, by the way.
Actually, it is. So, you know, just being honest. But yeah, and the next time you're like, yo, just chill out.
And then even with that, it's just like taking the other person's feelings into consideration. I know one task that we had when we went to marriage counseling that was so unique to me.
I think I was talking about. I liked that one. That one
was when we had to write a letter to introduce
our spouse to Dr. Kanisha,
as though she didn't know who we were.
Yeah.
Like clean, like, I don't know who this person is, but you'll just write a letter about who your spouse is. And I had fun doing that, because how I thought of him and how I would describe him and everything came out in this letter. And we didn't get to read the letter until the day
we read it to each other, or to
we read it at our session. So this was the first time, even after we wrote it, that each other was gonna hear, like, how do you think of me? Like, how, when you're not even describing, but introducing me, what do you think of? You know?
It was a beautiful thing.
I agree.
It was a beautiful thing.
I actually teared up, because I was like, oh my God, wow, this is like, he thinks so highly of me, and he sees things that I didn't even know he was paying attention to. And that was like a really good tasks that we had to do that kind of brought us closer into understanding, like, yo, you really do see me, like, yeah, and I see you in this light, even if you don't think that's where you're at. This is how I view you.
I think that was very impactful for me too, like giving people roses like at that moment. So now when she speaks or something and I just notice, I definitely try to put more effort into just stopping it and be like, yo, like, thank you for that, like, da da da. And absolutely, that really carries a more positive energy throughout the day, I think.
Yeah, being grateful and showing that appreciation for one another, not just like on a holiday or your birthday or a special day. It's more just like, yo, when I have the opportunity to let you know, hey, yeah, you doing this exceptional, or I feel like you are killing this right now, I try to do that, and he does the same. And sometimes you need that, especially from your other half. You need that push, you need that, okay, somebody sees what I'm doing.
That team.
That teamwork, like, and holding each other accountable when you slip in and say, you could be doing so much better than what you're doing right now. Like, you procrastinating, get back on this, and the third. And he's really big on holding me accountable for certain things and vice versa. So that was another thing, because sometimes you want to like not stir up the pot and just kind of let things slide until even you yourself is getting annoyed, when it's just like, no, let me put that out, you know? Yeah,
like it's a solo race, but you still have a team in the back that supports you to be able to
go for it. Yeah, so that was sincerely big, you know, being shown appreciation and being grateful for one another in this very moment, and not waiting until something or a day happens to show that love.
You know, one thing is actually when you are searching for a counselor or a mentor, it is also good to know if their religious background. To have somebody like Dr. Kenesha, who is Christian, her sessions are based around the morals of a Christian, you know, family, and that makes it a lot more relatable for us, relative and more intimate with your relationship with God too.
That's a fact. That was a big fact, because that not only tied into our marriage, but just us as a person, as people in general, and just being obedient in the sense of like, yo, God, what you have for our marriage? What do you have for us to do? And not, you know, because sometimes you can go to just a regular counselor and it's just like, oh, what do you think? Or what do you think? And sometimes it's like, I want to make sure I'm being obedient. But that was something that we did require. We wanted in going to counseling.
We'll try to leave Dr. Kenesha's information on the link below, as well as for your mom too, actually. You know, she's in the same field.
Yeah, my mom, even prior to going to the counseling with Dr. Kenesha, we did an individual mentoring session.
That was my first time having a mentor.
Right.
That was definitely a changing moment for me to like how I view the aspect of a mentor.
Yeah, so AccuMind, Kingdom Academy, we can leave a lot of good, reliable sources for you guys to check out, but that was a very good tool that we use to become proactive in our marriage rather than reactive. Because a lot of times you hear going to counseling as a negative thing.
Oh, is everything okay?
Yeah, but when we went to counseling, we weren't angry, we weren't having any problems. It wasn't anything like that. It was just like, how do we build upon this? How do we get better? Because we can always do better in marriage. We can always do life better. So how do we get to that next level and maintain it and keep excelling? And that's what we decided.
And I think it was also very successful because we were at a good point in our relationship, that like it was easier to be honest. It was easier to be like, okay, I'm not hiding the real reason why I'm mad at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. Yeah.
We recommend keeping that as a thought. You know, we did it for what was it, like a couple months, like 4, 6,
3 months.
We did it for 3 months.
3 months.
And it doesn't have to be something that, you know, you just continuously do, but then unless you feel like you need to. But we felt like that was just a very good session that we had with Dr. Kenesha in better knowing our relationship with one another.
Yes, absolutely.
And we'll probably, you know, after a couple years, even if we are good. Just another recap.
Yeah, we were supposed to do one this year, and then we had Cairo. Actually,
But Cairo also binded us like
even closer.
Yeah, when they say you know, what do they say, like kids bring family together?
I never heard that.
Never heard that. Maybe it's a Korean thing.
Oh, for real?
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like I heard it.
Oh, yeah, I never heard that one.
So after, you know, going through counseling with Dr. Kanisha, what is one thing you think changed in our relationship? Like something that we used to do that used to bring negative results in our relationship that we fix now, that it's like, yo, that's not a problem anymore.
I would say going to sleep angry. That was like one thing that I think definitely changed, because it was like, you know, if you have an argument, you got an attitude, it's like, don't talk to me for the rest of the day, please. Yeah, going to bed angry was one of the things that I definitely had to like work on myself and fix that, because I would always like hold grudges for no apparent reason. It's like silly. Like, what are you doing? Why are you still mad? I don't know.
Yeah.
It was an ugly trait that I used to have. I used to just feel like if I'm mad until I'm done being mad, like I don't want nothing to do with you. And he'd be fine, and I'm just like,
because you know what I think?
did you eat?
Yeah.
No.
Even though you're angry at each other, you should definitely take care of each other too.
You can talk that out before going to bed. Y'all might not come to a resolve to the point where everything's gonna be a-okay.
Yeah.
But at least y'all come to understanding, and it's just like, all right,
you guys are moving forward.
Yeah, we
like,
can agree to disagree right now, but I'm not gonna go to bed mad at you.
Agreeing to disagree.
I love that phrase.
Yes, you do. I was so annoyed by it at first. I was like, we can agree to disagree. I'm like, why can't you understand? Why can't you understand?
Yo, he used to lose his mind when I used to
agree.
be like, well, let's just agree to disagree, because you're not gonna agree on everything. You're not going to agree.
And once I actually like understood that meaning, I was like, all right, we can do that. And I
used to be so against it. He's like, listen, I don't want to keep going back and forth. How about we just agree to disagree on this? I understand your point. You understand my point. I may not agree with your point. You may not agree with my point.
All right then, let's agree to disagree.
Let's agree to disagree. Yeah. He's Victor.
No, I didn't.
You hated agree to disagree. You don't think?
Yeah, because I knew I was right.
And I've toned down so much being married, because he kind of would be like, yo, we don't need that. He hated it.
I don't know why I would have to agree to disagree. I knew I was right. Anyways, moving forward.
At the end of the day, I'm gonna make sure I still say I love you. We're gonna still say our prayers together. Well, we gonna make it work. So that was the big thing that made me switch.
Yeah. Or it might be one of those prayers where it's like, maybe like, okay, let me cover us tonight. No, it might be, it's like, you can pray, I'll pray too at the same time.
Thanks. But yeah, another thing that we took from going to counseling was, for me, allowing and giving him that respect in order for him to lead the right way. Just stepping back a little bit. And when I say stepping back, not to the point where I'm diminishing myself or not being able to still be me, but it was more like, I'm gonna let the man be the man, I'm gonna let the man lead. So that was the thing, because from being independent so long and single and doing things on my own, I had that whole mindset of, I got it, I don't need you to do it, I'm gonna figure it out, if I want it this way, this is what we're gonna do. And I had to like completely shift that, because it was just like, what are you doing? Like, that's how you run people off, because you kind of want to stay in that independent mindset rather than understanding like, yo, we a team, I got you, do your thing, I'm gonna put my input in. If I felt like I was more well versed on that subject, I'd brief him up like, okay, well, this is what I know about it, what do you think, XYZ, and we will both have our input. At the end of the day, I'm gonna make sure that he makes the decisions when it comes to certain things. So, you know, it's just like we get so many questions, and you know, we never want to portray like this perfect marriage, but we know for a fact like we love each other and we try our best to become better together every day, because not every day is going to be like perfect roses and everything, but it's kind of like a work in progress. And if we can try to prevent or be proactive on certain hurdles, then that's what we want to do, especially knowing why so much marriages fail based off communication, finances, etc. Finances is a big one. I remember reading a comment when somebody wrote like, Mel looks like the spender and Mo looks like he saves for the future. He keeps me balanced, I would definitely say, in the sense of like, say I am a person that I can honestly say that I like shopping and things like that, and I've toned down so much being married because he kind of would be like, yo, we don't need that. So yeah, we just wanted to come on here and pretty much just touch on a couple things while we went to counseling. Not for anything negative, but these are the things that just worked for us. I'd rather fail at originality than to succeed at imitation. And right now we're not failing at anything. You don't never, you can fail forward. And for us right now, we continue to learn each other. We continue to grow with one another. And that's what makes our marriage stronger. And we're better for it in that way. So keeping God at the center, ensuring that you try to do proactive measures rather than reactive measures, and just making sure you're in love.
All right, guys. So well, that was just us touching bases of here and there of our marriage. If you guys have any more further questions, comment down below. New subscribers,
Shout out to you.
Welcome.
Y'all been rocking with us, and we're super appreciative, and we just love it. We just want to continue to be us, be original, not fake the funk. This is us 24/7, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
365.
Yeah.
You did. I'm actually pursuing a rap career, so look out for my next mixtape. I can see your face in the video. Let's go.
Alright, guys.
Sorry.
Well, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Just do it with me one more time. Just do the ending with me one more time. That's it. Alright, guys. Thank you for tuning in with us. That was just a brief reasoning why we went through our marriage counseling and what helped us. We hope it can help someone else. But until then, don't forget to
like,
comment,
and subscribe
down below.
Just to take and then this lovely thing was, she was more than enough. I asked her for a hand, said, would you like to dance? So pleased that I had asked, she quickly took my hand and we danced.